Ever had a year so bad that it became a popular meme? Well, that was Britney Spears 2007. Her triumph over a particularly traumatic illness that saw the newly divorced pop star and mom of two check in and out of rehab, shave her head in full view of paparazzi cameras, wield an umbrella against a pack of photographers, and end up on an involuntary psychiatric hold under the guardianship of her father, serves as an inspiration for strugglers everywhere. And as the popular saying goes, if Britney Spears can make it through 2007, we can get through absolutely anything. And as a new documentary is about to be released on February 5 regarding Britney Spears' court-sanctioned conservatorship by the New York Times, I thought it was important for us to examine how she got here in the first place. At the age of 8, Spears and her mother traveled to Atlanta, Georgia to audition for the 1990s revival of the Mickey Mouse Club. The casting director rejected her for being too young, but introduced her to a New York City talent agent. He was so impressed with her singing and suggested enrolling her at a professional performing arts school. She went on to dance since the age of 3.
When you're dancing, you just can't do a step. You've got to get into it, you know? I really love living in Louisiana. The people here are so nice.
She was hired for her first professional role as the understudy for the lead role in the off-Broadway musical Ruthless. She also appeared as a contestant on the popular television show Star Search and was cast in a number of commercials. In December 1992, she was cast in the Mickey Mouse Club alongside Christina Aguilera, Justin Timberlake, Ryan Gosling, and Kerry Russell. She had always been so charismatic throughout the show. However, the show was cancelled in 1996 and she had to return to Mississippi and enrolled in school. She had always been such a happy kid, having a lot of interest in sports and recreation. However, she always knew in her heart that she wanted more. Although she had a lot of friends in school, and most of her classmates were her friends, she compared school to the opening scene in Clueless with a lot of cliches. She quoted saying, "I was so bored. I was the point guard on the basketball team. I had my boyfriend. I went to homecoming and Christmas formal. But I always wanted more." In June 1997, Spears was in talk with a manager to join the female pop group Innocence. Her mother asked family friend and entertainment lawyer for his opinion and submitted a tape of Spears singing over a Whitney Houston karaoke song along with some pictures. Rudolph decided that he wanted to pitch her to record labels, for which she needed a professional demo made. The manager decided to send Spears an unused song of Toni Braxton. She rehearsed for a whole week, recorded her vocals in a studio with sound engineer. She traveled to New York with the demo and met with executives from 4 record labels and returning to Kentwood the same day. Sadly, 3 of them rejected her, saying the audience wanted pop brands, such as the Backstreet Boys and the Spice Girls. There wasn't going to be another Madonna, another Debbie Gibson, or another Tiffany. 2 weeks later, however, executives from Jive Records returned calls. Senior Vice President said Spears' audition was very rare to hear. Someone that age who can deliver emotional content and commercial appeal. For any artist, the motivation, the eye of the tiger is extremely important, and Britney had that. Spears sang Houston's I Have Nothing for the executives and was signed to the label. Here's Britney Spears singing another Whitney Houston song, I Will Always Love You, just to have an idea on how she sounded. She was then flown over to Sweden and recorded half her album. After she returned to the United States, she embarked on a shopping mall promotional tour to promote her upcoming debut album. She then went on to do her first concert tour, an opening act for NSYNC. And let's just say her album became the biggest selling album ever by a teenage artist, eventually landing her her very first Grammy. And it would be an understatement to just say this album did well. It did way more than well. This album shaped Britney for who she is today. It was her sound, her look, and this is what made the world fall in love with Britney Spears. Britney became a worldwide sensation. You'd see little kids dancing in their rooms trying to be Britney Spears. You'd see girls hiding and trying to follow all her moves and follow what she's wearing. And some would say maybe the fame came a little too fast for a teenager. I mean, who would expect your first album would turn you into a worldwide sensation overnight?
Walking on the grounds we've always known, stepping on the footprints in the snow, but when it melts the other ways will show.
Suddenly, this became a day in the life of Britney Spears. From small-town girl to having paparazzi follow your every move. After Princess Diana's death, the paparazzi played that same devil's dance with Britney. They followed her shopping. They followed her to the toilet. They chased her on the highway. She soon, statistically, with Princess Diana, became the most photographed and harassed pop star in history. And I absolutely hate when people say she signed up for this. She signed up to do what she loved, which was to sing and dance, not to be hounded and stalked by 70 plus paparazzi a day. I know I wouldn't have been able to handle that. Gosh, I can't even imagine any celebrity today being mentally ready to handle what Britney had gone through with paparazzi back then. And of course, with someone capturing your every move, what comes with its territory is all your mistakes will be captured too. Like maybe driving a sports car with your baby on your lap rather than in the back seat. Or like being photographed with your 8 months old in the back seat facing forward. Or what you would call a baby bottle, holding your baby in one hand and a glass in the other, nearly dropping your 8 months old. Or being called out for sloppy behavior for being captured several times with no underwear or panties. Having such wild party nights that you reveal your breasts or your bra and being kicked out of the club. For smoking next to your toddler that they want to be you, so they grab your cigarette pack and try to mimic you. Or being voted the worst celebrity dog owner of 2006 or the worst dressed next to Paris Hilton. And I admit that these are a lot of mistakes, but who doesn't make mistakes? Imagine having the limelight and being compared to Princess Diana, and imagine having all your mistakes shown to the public and broadcasted one by one for the world to see. And bit by bit, as the paparazzi kept hounding her more and more, year by year, and as time went on, very slowly, Britney became a ticking bomb. Until in 2007, this night happened.
Well, my assistant and I were closing up. Actually, we had locked the door because it gets really scary around here because we're set back from the boulevard. And all of a sudden, there were lights flashing, and we thought it was the police or somebody got into an accident, and they asked us to open the door. We opened the door, and Britney Spears came in and sat in my chair and said, "I want to shave my hair off." And I said, "Well, I'm not shaving your hair off." And I tried to talk her out of it. I said, "Are you sure you're not having a bad day? And tomorrow you'll feel differently about it. Why don't we wait a little bit?" And as I was talking to her bodyguard, next thing I know, she grabbed the buzzer and she went to the back of my salon and she was shaving off her own hair, and she actually enjoyed shaving off her own hair. But, you know, she never said anything about being sick and tired of people touching her, and that's why she was doing it. I think maybe the braids were on too tight. She had a lot of extensions in her hair. So She shaved off the whole thing all by herself, and all I basically did was go in there and even it out for her. When we were done, she just walked out the back door, and of course the paparazzi were all over the place.
At the time of the incident, when paparazzi asked her why she shaved her head, she said, "Because of you." And if that isn't very telling, I don't know what is.
Britney Spears like you've never seen her before, sporting a shaved head as she dropped into a tattoo parlour in LA last night. A reinvention taken to the extreme for the fallen pop princess. Once famous for her flowing blonde locks and all-American girl image, Britney's life has taken a dramatic turn in recent years. A rehab attempt this week lasted only one day. Witnesses at the tattoo parlour have grave concerns for the star.
She seemed very erratic. She was freaking out. She said the reason she shaved her head was she didn't want anyone touching her anymore. She couldn't take how everyone tried to touch her. Just seemed to be in a very bad place. In fact, this person said she seemed like a celebrity on the verge of a nervous breakdown.
Within one drama-filled week, she had 2 tattoos, checked in and out of rehab twice, and shaved off her hair. Like all of Britney's acts, this one really hit the headlines.
When asked about the head shaving incident a few years later, Britney responded,
"What provoked you to do that?"
Like, I was going through so much artificial stuff with my kids and with Kevin and all that stuff at the time, and he just left me, and I was devastated, you know, and people thought that it was me, like, going crazy and stuff like that, but people shave their heads all the time, you know. But I mean, I was going through a lot, but it was just kind of like me just feeling a form of a little bit of rebellion, or feeling free, or, you know, shedding stuff that had happened, you know.
Why did you not tell anyone that's what you were doing?
Huh?
Why did you not tell anyone that's what you were doing?
I don't think it was anyone's business, really.
After a lot more media scrutiny and being in the news tabloids over and over again, Britney Spears finally decided to return to the spotlight in a big way in Las Vegas. However, her performances provoked plenty of negative feedback. People said it was full of out-of-sync lip singing, weird movements, and just all came under scrutiny. At times, she just stopped singing altogether as if she knew nothing could save that performance. On September 16, 2007, after 1 month's relationship, Spears' management firm drops her and her divorce lawyer also resigns. And as time went on, Spears seemed to be entangled in more court problems, more custody drama, and just things were just not looking good for her. A hit and run. And as Britney Spears was taken from her home by an ambulance for the second time in a month and escorted to a hospital by more than a dozen police officers as 2 helicopters followed overhead, the tragic day of February 1, 2008 was bound to happen.
What the hell is conservatorship? The Free Britney movement isn't new.
Hashtag Free Britney movement and her conservatorship.
Free Britney in an interview.
Conservatorship right then.
The Britney Spears conservatorship.
The Free Britney movement
Launched this Free Britney campaign.
To the Britney Spears conservatorship.
Gained a lot more momentum over the last couple of months as Britney Spears fans question how much control the people around her have over her life and the extent of the conservatorship over her.
This conservatorship has got to go! Hey, hey!
Free Britney! What do we want?
I also think that, you know, Britney, like anyone else, should have the freedom to live the life that's most authentic to her.
I totally support, you know, Free Britney.
So we always want the conservatorship to end, but we do realize it is a process. So today is specifically to review the approval of a new litigation tool.
But if there's nothing left to cry for, then I will just crack a smile. Oh, I had a million different.
Hi,
Hi, my name's Britney Spears. I called you earlier, but I'm calling in because I just wanted to make sure during the process of ending the conservatorship that my father has threatened me several times that, he'll take my children away. I just want to be guaranteed that everything is fine with the process of you guys taking care of everything and things are being the same as far as my custodial.
Jet planes in the night sky with you. Getting high in the sunrise with you.
Brittany, we've got your back. We can feel your energy in your heart, and we love you, and we're excited for Project Rose.
Hey, hey!
I wasn't missing a thing, no.
Hey! Ho! This conservatorship has got to go!
I'm a Sagittarius. I'm very keen on freedom. I love freedom. I love independence. I don't like to be tied down.
What do we want? Free Britney!
I wasn't under the restraints that I'm under right now. I feel so liberated. And when I tell them the way I feel, it's like they hear me, but they're really not listening. I'm sad.
Is that one of your biggest wishes?
Yeah. It's okay. I would like for them to leave me alone.
If you could talk to them as individuals, not as a group, what would you say to them?
I would just say that you have babies at home and you have a wife, and if you don't, you have to realize that we're people and that we just need privacy and we need our respect, and those are things that you have to have as a human.
And yet, as upset as it makes you, you wouldn't trade your life now, it seems. That seems strange for some people to understand. If they're making you this miserable, how can you still say, but I'm lucky?
Because I have to believe that I'm here for a reason.
What's the reason?
I don't know. I keep searching.
Even when you go to jail, there's always the time that you know that you're going to get out, But in this situation, it's never ending. There's no excitement. There's no passion. You can see the cruelest part of the world.
You're an adult, you should be able to live your life and not be controlled.
What do we want? Free Britney! When do we want it? Now!